The other fight on this card that I'm excited about is our boy, the Canadian Gavin Tucker, stepping in on short notice to take on Dan Ige. Ige was supposed to fight Ryan Hall, who had to pull out, and Tucker was supposed to fight Cub Swanson this May. So a bit early for Tucker, but he was in fight camp. And at his age, this is kind of the move he needs to make, like taking on just fighting as soon as possible, anything to get in there against a ranked opponent and put a number next to his own name. I think this is a great opportunity for him. I was so impressed with his performance against Billy Quarantillo. I feel like he put it all together beautifully. The trips, the clinch striking. He's such an accurate striker. Saw kind of where he left off against Justin James in his previous fight in like the second round, where he just kicked it into another striking gear and just put it all together so beautifully. Like he was mixing in straights, uppercuts, hooks. The clinch striking was vicious. The knees to the body, the ripping hooks to the body, a couple elbows. The takedowns to just really gas Quarantillo. And he had a lot of like preemptive interrupting counter striking, I'd call it, because it was almost counter striking in that it came as Quarantillo was throwing, but he was the one initiating, so a little more preemptive than like make you miss and hit. I think Dan Ige is a potentially great opponent for that style to succeed against. He's a very explosive fighter who throws a lot of loopingness to his punches, and it works really well for him. He stays very patient, very composed, keeps this like high shell guard so that he's just really hard to hit when out in the open at range. You can lunge at him and try and hit him, but that defensive style is really great for getting out of the way. And then he's going to frustrate you and just inch forward, inch forward, inch forward, and then take advantage of that explosiveness and lay into the hooks. And he's had success with that in most of his fights. I, like most people, thought he lost the Edson Barboza fight, but he did have his moments there where he pressured Barboza, who has historically struggled with that approach against him. He really did get shut down for the most part in the Cater fight, and that's kind of what I'm looking for Tucker to replicate. It was the jabs and the straights that kept Ige at bay. It was a 5-round performance from Cater where the 4th and 5th rounds were his best. So it's going to be a struggle to implement that kind of dominance early because it was a fairly slow 1st and 2nd round. I think some people did give Ige the 2nd round, but I do think Tucker has the style to beat Ige in staying composed, waiting for him to just get ready to explode, and then like you interrupt him with a jab, and just frustrate him every time he wants to explode forward and get out of the way of that, keeping him at range. I'm curious about the grappling because Tucker, not like a traditional wrestling background or anything, but a jiu-jitsu black belt. Ige does come from college wrestling, so you don't really see him use it offensively, but it does pay off in spades defensively for him. No one's really been able to dominate him like continuous rounds. Mirsad Bektic got him down for 1. But I think the versatility of Tucker really helps him out. Just being able to mix it up, like make you worry about elbows, knees in the clinch, and then like find a quick trip, laying on that really heavy pressure, volume striking, and then explode for a takedown. So I think there's a lot of paths to victory for Tucker in this fight. He is the underdog. I'm clearly biased. I'm not even going to pretend to hide it. Ige is for sure an elite fighter, though, and you could see there's levels to this. For sure the toughest challenge ahead of Tucker, but going to be rooting for the governor in this one and think he does have the tools to get it done.